So for this video, I want to touch on cognitive styles and learning styles. A very interesting subject. Cognitive and learning styles, I think, can directly be tied to language. And there are 5 registers of language. A Dutch linguist by the name of Martin Joos, J-O-O-S, actually divided this into 5 registers of communication. All of the 5 kind of escape me. The ones that hang out are the casual conversation, where we have about 800 vocabulary, the standard, what we would call standard English, full sentences, full communication, more rigid body language. That would be about 1,600 to 2,000 characters. There is the intimate language, which is not necessarily sexual in nature. There's the informal register, which we all have. And then the fifth one I'm a little bit fuzzy on. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research. But what this really kind of ties into Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So cognitive styles and learning styles, how we think is largely predicated by how we communicate. So if I am not able as an individual to fully function within the 5 registers of communication that Martin Joos describes, if, for instance, if I don't have the ability, if all I know is 800 words, and I cannot go out of that casual conversation mode, I am not going to be able to A, read for content, B, have critical discussions in the classroom, because it's not that I don't want to. I don't have the conversation. I don't have the ability. I don't have the vocabulary to have that conversation. Okay? So for those 2 reasons, language skills, huge, really ties into learning styles. Kind of all hit home for me this weekend. It's not really something that I thought about all that much before I heard this presentation yesterday. Very interesting. So, kind of puts the focus on myself as an educator, and for those of you that are educators as well, very similar charge. It's not that our students are dumb. We just have to realize with the different thinking and learning styles, there also may be some language issues that we have to work on. And the language barrier, which I predominantly associate a language barrier with ESL students, but that is not the case. We could have native English speakers that grew up in a very poor and impoverished environment that don't have the vocabulary. They haven't had a proper education. That also can be an issue. So language, or lack thereof of language skills, can cause quite a bit of an issue in learning and cognitive processing.